So as Troy mentioned, we're about to jump right into a panel. So you already got to hear from me. If you're just jumping on now and you didn't hear my introduction at the beginning, I'm a person that's in long-term recovery for over 5 years now. I'm also the project coordinator for RCO development at the Georgia Council on Substance Abuse. And we've got some amazing people that I've had the opportunity to get to hear from and be a part of the development of the Rock. And they are on this panel today. And what this is, this panel of different people from different pathways. And so you're going to get to hear about their personal recovery through the lens of their pathway in recovery. And so we're going to get to know a little bit more about them first, and then we're going to ask them some questions in relation to their recovery and how they envision this making an impact in Cherokee County for the future. So without further ado, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves one by one, and we can either go from left to right or right to left. It looks like Nadine's pointing at Tyrone, so he may be going first. Let's go ahead and kick it off. Tyrone?
Good morning, everybody. We want to thank everybody that's joined today. We thank you so much for your time this morning. My name is Daniel Tyrone Hawkins. You can call me Tyrone. I'm a person in long-term recovery. I've been clean from illegal substances since 2014 and free of alcohol since February 2019. Today, I serve as a youth leader and outreach coordinator at my church, Hope Church in Woodstock, Georgia, and I work at Hope Quest Ministries in Acworth, Georgia, as Director of Food Services. I'm currently working towards my certification as addiction counselor. My focus and passion is to assist in complete transformation for those individuals in active addiction by means of spiritual, mental, physical, and nutritional betterment. My heart is to love those around me through the love I have received from Christ and help as many people as possible with this precious new gift of a new life and a sober mind that seeks out serving my community in Cherokee County. Chris?
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Glad you're here. My name is Chris Elber. I'm a person in long-term recovery. What that means to me is October 1st, it will be 4 years since I found it necessary to use any alcohol or other substances. My path to recovery is a 12-step program. The basic premise is that people can help one another to achieve and maintain abstinence from substances of abuse. This can be done through meetings where we share our experiences with one another and support each other in ongoing effort. Working 12 steps, practicing spiritual principles, and through the mentorship of sponsors. Examples are Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and many others. Recovery has allowed me to become a productive and responsible member of society, even becoming a registered voter for the first time. It allows me to be present in my family's lives. Being in recovery has maybe made it possible for me to hold the same job for 4 years. Through recovery, I'm able to give back to society through acts of service. It has helped me to help others as I help myself. Recovery has given me the gift of a life worth living. Recovery is real. Recovery is possible. It is the right of every individual. We do recover. Connection with others and recovery and the services available are vital, not only to the people in recovery and their family and loved ones, but to the communities in which they live. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm April Ozoki. I am too a person in long-term recovery of 11 years. I want to welcome you all as we celebrate recovery today. What my recovery means to me today is I have traded chasing meaningless highs, and now I'm chasing my goals and my dreams. I've tried several different pathways to recovery, but what seemed to work for me the most are my family and my faith. So without the support of my family and them believing in me, I would have never believed in myself. I love myself today, and I believe I can accomplish anything that I set my mind to. Today, I'm a devoted wife. I'm a loving daughter, mother, and grandmother they always knew I could be. They never gave up on me, and they made me believe in myself. I'm a supervisor at Neuroscience Industries, where I've been employed for the last 10 years. I've completed all my classes to become an addiction counselor at Hope Dealers Worldwide, and I'm now doing my supervision with Tony Reynolds at Addiction Counselor USA. I also volunteer for peer support at Hope Dealers Worldwide for others seeking recovery. I've learned a very, very valuable lesson in life, and that's if you want to be successful, you need to surround yourself with successful people. In doing so, I've had so many opportunities come my way, and now I'm proud to say that I am an executive board member of The Rock. So I found out that service work is very rewarding and it's also very contagious. I take pride in breaking the stigma that comes with addiction, and I no longer walk in shame and guilt. Today I walk in faith and glory. I'm so excited to offer help to my fellow peers and to help them find the resources and find the pathway that works best for them.
Amen. Cherokee Recovers, what's up, Cherokee County? Hey, my name is Seth Harris. I'm a person in long-term recovery. This October will be 4 years for me free of alcohol and drugs. What an amazing gift it is. I'm actually a Cherokee County native myself, and I got sober in Cherokee County through the DUI Accountability Court Program. I tell people that I feel like for me that they were able to kind of keep me safe from myself for long enough for a change to really take place. And that change was really reclaiming my identity in so many ways. I no longer had to be defined by, the things that I had done, the mistakes I had made, the life that I was living, and the problems that I had created. I found that I was no longer struggling to survive on my own, but I was actually able to thrive in community, right? Recovery has just made me, just a more loving son to my parents. I've been able to honor my fiance and walk with her on our journey together and share her story. With her, I've become, a better friend. And just an encouraging coworker. I have the ability to work here at Hope Quest and to walk with people daily to help them find what path is going to work for them, and determine what their story really is and help them to rewrite those chapters. I'm also CARE certified, so I'm a certified peer specialist for addictive disease. I do recovery coaching one-on-one with guys and help them, to just walk through the day and just listen to their stories and help them to realize that they have ability, they have potential within them, that they can, walk a path that is free and it exudes hope. I speak out about recovery because I've experienced, what people's potential can be when they're free of the things that are binding them. On my own journey, I've been able to see how awesome it is that folks can overcome the things that they've experienced, reclaim that potential that they have inside of them, and really experience that freedom and hope. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this. Nadine?
Awesome. Thank you, Seth. Hello, everyone. My name is Nadine Sorayas. I am the mother of a person that's been in long-term recovery for over 3 years now from severe opiate use disorder. I'm also a clinician and I'm an ally for those in recovery. For years, I believed that medication was a sign of weakness. So I left my son's ADD untreated, which later evolved into an opioid addiction. I carried that same belief about meds into treatment for his opiate addiction also, until I realized that medication-assisted treatment as prescribed is part of brain health and is a pathway to a successful lifestyle of recovery that worked for him. Today gives me great joy and peace to see my son living a healthy lifestyle. He has a great fiance, a nice home and new car, holds a good job, and he pays taxes. Today, I choose to speak out to those who have a loved one struggling from substance use disorder. And I want to dispel the myth that says medication-assisted treatment is a crutch. It's a swapping one drug for another. But in fact, medication-assisted treatment can prevent overdose and can be a pathway to restore an entire life as it did for my son. As a mother, this gave me hope and peace. As a clinician, this gives me hope for my clients and their families that recovery is real and there is life after addiction. Now, personally, I also am a person in long-term recovery. What that means for me is that severe anxiety disorder has not controlled my life for more than 8 years. Exercising my faith and practicing yoga along with an intentional focus on brain health has been a pathway for me that has led to a successful and fulfilling life, experiencing a level of freedom unknown to me before. Today, it brings me great joy to devote my life in service to others in ways that deliver hope and to those who need encouragement in our community. Thank you.
Yay.
Awesome.
Rock it up.
Beautiful,
Rock it
beautiful.
up.
Guys, we've got a few questions for you. We don't have a ton of time, but we've got about 15 minutes and we're going to ask you a few different things. And y'all shared a little bit about what your pathway is, but we'd like to know, how did you personally enter into recovery? So if you could quickly, if we get like a 60-minute answer on boom, this little, I know it's a long story, I'm sure, and there's probably some of you decade of stuff that happened, but quickly summarize, if you can, how you entered recovery.
I actually entered recovery when I entered Cherokee County's finest bed and breakfast, Cherokee County Detention Center. I hit my rock bottom and I got to a breaking point where I knew I needed help. I knew I could do better, and I had to choose that I could believe in myself. And through a tight-knit community that spoke into my life, believed in me, and still accepted me when I fell down, and picked me right up, dusted me off, and said, keep going.
Mm-hmm.
My journey began this time facing consequences of my substance use. Once again, I began to go to an outpatient treatment center and attend 12-step meetings, where I got hope from some other people at different levels of recovery. And I began to notice recovery working in other people's lives. And, you know, it gave me hope, and I began to desire that for my own life. So I asked some of these people, you know, how they did it, and they freely shared that with me.
I struggled for 18 years with addiction. I was incarcerated, found out my dad had stage 4 cancer, wrote the judge, begged, pleaded for mercy. He let me out to actually be my dad's caregiver. I made a vow I'd never take family for granted again, and I've never touched anything since. So just losing a family member and realizing that family means the most to me, I'll never take that for granted, and I just walk strong in my faith and just continue on.
Yeah, I pretty much alluded to mine when I was talking about the accountability court system here in Cherokee. I mean, accountability courts work. I'm a huge advocate of that kind of thing. It really just takes the willingness. But I mean, I had tried some other things before. I think I just finally was at the point where I was, you know, sick and tired of being sick and tired, and was willing to do what I needed to do to prevent more consequences. And then I just, like I said, I started just feeling whole again. So.
My recovery again was in mental health with severe anxiety disorder. And so what happened with me is it was a mix of faith and yoga, how I entered recovery. I was actually in a 110-degree Bikram yoga class trying to hold a pose for 90 seconds, and it felt like the most impossible storm in the world. And deep within me came my faith, where I just spoke out silently, Jesus is my calm in the midst of the storm. And that was just for me, but it got me through that pose, and it taught me about a surrender. And from that point forward, it was that very act of surrender that entered me into my recovery, and anxiety no longer had a control over me.
That's awesome. Yeah, 110 degrees doing yoga poses sounds impossible to me too.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. You know, I know that it was important for me to have people that supported me. Just sounded like all of you did as well when I entered recovery. We also want to know, so what would you say supports your recovery today? You know, you may have entered recovery one way, but I'm just curious has something changed, or what supports your recovery today? And then also kind of a follow-up to that, what motivates you to stay in recovery? So what supports your recovery today, and what motivates you to stay in recovery?
Something that supports my recovery is actually using the terminology recovery. Before, I was just trying to stay sober and trying to stay away from dangerous situations. Now it's an active skill to say I am in recovery and I'm doing these things to keep in place my sobriety, keep in place my sanity. And something that just helps usher that along and continue in that is helping others. To be able to give what I was given so freely, and just to give it away at any opportunity and help in any way, and see other people get peace of mind, see other people get freedom, just completely inspires me over and over and over again.
I would say the connections and to the people in recovery, to my support group, the meetings, my sponsor, the other people, you know, in recovery with me. They really motivate me to go further and identify, you know, what's going on in my life. And many of them have, you know, had similar situations. So that keeps me, you know, my belief in a power greater than myself. You know, I really want to, I can't stress that enough. Something bigger than me is in control. And that was a game changer for me. What motivates me to stay is, you know, I remember at the end, I remember wanting to die, being helpless, lost, you know, no will to live. And today, you know, having recovery has given me a life worth living, which I said earlier, but also being able to love myself and others is priceless. And I don't want to change that for anything.
Thank you for sharing that.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Today, what motivates me, I think personal growth is the biggest motivator for me, being the best that I can be. I love having a healthy balance, which is work, which is my stability, doing service work, which is another stability, but always trying to educate myself and to grow on a daily basis. Got to have fun in there. I love to camp. I love to go to the lake and ride boats. I love riding my Harley Davidson. I love playing with my animals. I love being with my family and my friends. So today I live a life out loud of recovery, and I think it's contagious and it spills out onto everybody.
Yeah, I would just say connection. I mean, just staying plugged in for me is huge. And I don't mean like, you know, find a bunch of people that listen to me. I mean, finding people that I can listen to, and remembering that I do not know it all. And the more that I can spend time having somebody else tell me their story, that's growth for me. And that reminds me of, you know, why we're here, why we do what we do, and the importance of recovery.
I'd say connecting with others, always staying connected in a small group, whether that's through your church or through whatever community your organization are part of, staying in small groups, serving others, and also sticking to my brain health treatment plan that my doctor has me on.
That's great. I heard a lot of similarities in there. So I think we could all say that the opposite of addiction is
Connection.
connection. Yeah, that's great. And April, you alluded to this one. So here our next question is, what do you do for fun now that you're in recovery? That was a big concern for me when I was entering recovery. I was like, oh, I'm not going to have fun, but I know that's not been the case. And we'd love to hear from all of you. Maybe April shared a little bit there, but what do you do for fun now that you're in recovery?
I think a good question is, what do we not do? You have so much more freedom to do all sorts of activities when you're not worried about staying high and drunk. I love the garden. I love painting. I love writing, and I love any outdoor activity. I love to see nature at work. I love to grow things. I love to make hot sauce. I love to cook. So if it's got to do with food, me and Seth are pretty the same in that arena. We're happy.
So I enjoy hanging out with other people in recovery. I enjoy going for walks, riding my bike, having game nights. Recently went to Florida for a vacation with 3 other people in recovery and had the best time I've ever had there. You know, and I'm a Florida native, so that's saying a lot. I had the best time, you know, just in recovery, just having a good time and sharing with others, you know, and just enjoying the world as it really is.
I'll touch a little bit again. I know I've touched on it a little bit before, but I actually have a passport now. So I've traveled to Europe twice. I've been blessed with an amazing husband that is from Hungary, so he loves to travel. So I've got to see a lot of the world, and now that I'm not spending my money on stupid things, I have money to do things. So, but I've touched base on things that I did, but traveling is a very beautiful thing that I get to do now.
Yeah, I've probably taken up more hobbies than I ever did before. I mean, just being in the yard, doing woodworking, just spending time reading and writing and that kind of thing. Just embracing that stuff that I was, you know, too busy doing my addiction before to spend time with that kind of stuff.
So I have fun collecting smiles. I like to say I'm a professional smile collector. I love to travel all around the world. And I'll tell you, because I'm not crippled with anxiety anymore, I actually get to enjoy all the places and cultures and people around the world and collect smiles. And that's my focus. If I keep collecting smiles, you can't go wrong.
Everybody loves it.
Absolutely. That's great. April, yeah, I never thought that I would be able to have a passport or go anywhere else too. And it's been awesome to have recovery. Tyrone, also, I need some of that hot sauce soon, so I'm going to get back with you later about that.
Can do.
So next question we got here is, and we don't have a whole lot of time, but if any of you could answer this, it would be great. So if there was something that you think that would help better sustain your recovery, or maybe something that would have made it easier for you to enter into recovery, we'd love to know what that could have been.
Just a larger presence of a recovery community nearby, somewhere that was safe, somewhere I knew I could go and just be in recovery and be okay to be weak and lean on people that have been through the fire and come through the other side and just learn from their experience.
I would say, you know, having some place where, you know, where the services and supports are available, where you don't have to go digging for it like an Easter egg hunt, you know, where it's out there, it's obtainable, and you can find it easily.
I personally believe there should be an RCO on every corner in Georgia. I mean, just honest, because when I was going through recovery and seeking recovery, there was no resources available whatsoever. I didn't have license for 10 years. I know that sounds like a mind-blowing thing, but got in trouble a couple times for driving. But I think transportation is a big key to people, because we lose our license and we don't have any way back and forth to report, to work, to all these things we've got to jump through. You know, I know we did wrong, but it's just the things that make it impossible for us to recover. It's stumbling blocks. So yeah, just RCO on every corner and transportation and just support from people that are our fellow peers that have come before us.
I mean, I wish that stigma and shame wasn't what it is. I think that definitely, in my path, kind of blocked me for a lot of years of even saying there's something wrong with me. But then also learning that, you know, my mentality about all that was kind of screwed up too. I'll kind of flip the question around on you though, because I firmly believe that I'm always exactly where I'm supposed to be. And so I wouldn't change anything. If I'm in a moment and I'm stuck, it probably means that there's something inside of me that I need to focus on. The issue is not with other people or with systems or things of that nature. But I will advocate all day long for change. But I do think the responsibility sticks with me and staying in the solution.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Staying in the solution for sure. Connecting with others and feeling like I belong to a group is what definitely makes it easier for me to stay in recovery. Accepting that I'm a human with flaws and imperfections, and that it's healthy to ask others for help.
Wow, that was great. I think that we all kind of heard a little bit about what maybe even that you hope would come out of the symposium. That's the next question. I know that April said we want an RCO on every corner, and I think that The Rock is really going to be able to all of these things that y'all all just talked about really happen for Cherokee County, and so I'm excited for that. If there was anything else, real quick to close out, what would you hope that would come out of this event today, moving forward?
Real quick. Momentum.
The community as a whole to see that recovery is possible and that recovery benefits not only the person in recovery, but the whole community.
That people start seeking recovery and they come to the Rock to find the connections they need to recover.
Yeah, I mean, I just know what an amazing recovery community there is in this area, and it's just so exciting that we're actually creating a centralized place for all of that to happen. So to watch that grow is just going to be awesome.
My hope is that our community will be inspired into motivated action, that our community will be more aware of the resources available to them, and that our new RCO, The Rock, will arise successfully to meet the specific needs of those in Cherokee County, and that people will find a safe, fun place at The Rock to sustain a lifestyle of recovery and connection with others.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. That was great.
Thank you.
Rock it up.
So Nadine just talked about that, connecting people with resources here, and that's going to be coming up in just a moment. Troy is going to have a little something to say before we do that. Guys, thank you again to all
Thank you.
a round of
Thanks
applause.
for having us.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much. What an amazing
Good
panel.
job, y'all.
We're incredibly grateful for you guys and what y'all have shared with us today. What an exciting thing to be a part of. The recovery organization of Cherokee County, The Rock,